Okay, let's go.
Hello there, Chick Chatters. We are back with another story of the week.
Hey, Chick Chatters.
Oh my
Me, Karley.
We have Karley today.
Surprise, I'm back.
We are back with one of our favorite segments, Story of the Week. We have a story from Relationship Advice, and it's actually only 5 days old. And it's titled, I, 38 female, went out for a Halloween event last night and found out I have to divorce my 39 male husband.
Dun dun dun.
Starts off with, I think I need to divorce my husband. He did something pretty unforgivable. It happened 4 years ago, but I just found out about it. We've been together over 12 years, married for 2. Well, I happened to see my niece at this event and of course stopped to chit chat with her. It somehow led to a whole thing to where she finally told me later on the phone about something that happened a few years back. Apparently my husband made advances towards her, a young adult at the time, almost 22, and received favors from those advances at least twice. Apparently he tried for more and was turned down. Looking back, it was a very hypersexual time for him for some reason. He was also smoking a lot, which is probably related since it was part of him coercing from her. We have 3 young children. I haven't told him how I know yet. He is at work until this evening. My world is about to implode and I have to keep it together for my kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I don't know how to have this conversation. The house market is upside down and our rental is the last affordable one in the state, to be honest. I can't move out into anything better with my kids and I'm obviously not moving out without them. Honestly, if it were just some random person, I could probably find it in me to move past it. But this betrayal isn't random. He has known her since she was 15. What do I do? I wish I knew about it then because it would be so much easier to leave over something recent, but so much harder for him to deny, like I know he will. He tells me all the time, I don't deserve you. How do I tell him he's right?
Why can't she call the cops on it?
She wasn't underage.
But he's known her since she was 15.
Wow. I hope she leaves him. I don't know, like, what is happening?
She does need to leave him.
He does. Like,
yeah. There are some things that you can look past, just like she said, and she might be willing to, but I hope that
but did you hear her situation? She can't get out of it because of what the economy is like. Mortgage.
Hopefully they can have a dignified conversation with each other. Hopefully he is sad for what he's done and he's willing to support her. I mean, that's still his family. Like, there can be a world she'd have to be able to, but like, he would have to be able to pay for the mortgage while she stays in the house, and he would have to leave and pay for an apartment for himself. They can do the whole flip-flop where she lives in the apartment and whatever.
But would he leave?
Well, he's going to have to. They're going to get a divorce.
Well, I guess he would be paying child support, stuff like that.
Right. The thing is if he gets an apartment, they'd have to agree to all of this, but he's going to have to leave. She's going to ask for a divorce. It only requires one human to file divorce papers, and then you're going to have to get divorced at some point. So if he could go get an apartment and they could either agree to do the flip-flop situation where whenever they're with the kids, they stay in the house and whoever else stays, or he can just have his apartment. Like, he's going to have to be aware of the situation. Like, I think a lot of people, you have to be aware of the situation. If you choose as a family to not have active work, then you're making a commitment to that person to support them for however long. And just because you're about to get a divorce because of something that happened just now doesn't mean that commitment just ends. And it really shouldn't if you're like actually a family. So I'm not saying that's how it works out every time. There's probably going to be a lot of hurt feelings and craziness, but just because all that's going on does not mean that she's not worthy of leaving somebody. Like, she needs to be able to say, I'm leaving, and also you're going to have to pay for all these apartments now because you suck. But she'll have to say that more delicately or it won't happen.
You know what's tough with like men? I mean, this sounds so bad because not all men are like this, but men are mean. She's going to tell him everything that she knows and she's going to confront him. And he's more than likely going to like I mean, I just see an abuse situations because somebody who cheats is normally someone who doesn't have what they need to be like functioning human beings. You know what I mean? Like if you're cheating all the time, you are missing something in your life. Like you are missing stability, consistency, whatever the case may be. So if you're cheating all the time, something is wrong
But
with it.
I
Right?
hear
Like,
you, but I've also seen people who cheat and get caught and are incredibly remorseful and are willing
I
to
see that,
do
but I
whatever
don't.
it takes to keep their family in as much tact as possible because
And I
their family's
see
about
it,
to fall
but I
apart.
don't see it often. Like when I hear stories, some of the best people I know have gone through things like that. And it was both ends of the spectrum. It was the guy or the girl. You know what I mean? Everything was fine. And I know multiple people that have gone through things like that. It's just, and it's a family member and he knew her.
That's why they need to get divorced. Like
Right.
that's the thing. Like there are some cheating situations where you can work out and things can move on. But this is the reason why they need to just get divorced. I don't think this is a move past it situation. You're gonna have to show up to family gatherings and things like that now as the woman, knowing that your husband didn't, SA your cousin, but definitely took advantage of your cousin for sure.
And, like, what is wrong with that person too? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's weird. It's all weird.
I'm the type of person with my family. I'm just honest because they're my family. I should be able to be. And they should accept me no matter what. But like,
should have never gotten to them.
Right. It should have
been honest about that. Like
that's what I'm
it should
saying.
have been like your husband is hitting on me. Like that's where it should have stopped.
Exactly. It should not have gotten, and it's both of their faults. Like again, something is wrong with these people. Like,
it's so heavy.
Yeah, this one's really heavy.
I asked if you wanted me to switch.
You guys don't usually go heavy like this. Damn.
It's a lot. I feel like that's really heavy, and there's really not anything else you can do but figure out a way to get out the house. Times are tough for everybody.
Yeah. Just because you're a stay-at-home mom does not mean that you have no chance of leaving. Maybe things will work out the way that I said or the way that Karley said. Right. There's 100 million different variations in between that. But your husband will pay for childcare and you'll be able to go to work and things will, things will figure out. It won't be as easy.
He has a job.
Then he's going to have to get a damn better job. I'm sure he doesn't have a job if he's supporting, all of them.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if she's a stay-at-home, whatever, they must be enough for them to live on.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes it costs less just for moms to stay
home. For the mom to stay home. Right. Yeah, but everybody's living paycheck to paycheck. Even people who can sustain life. You know what I mean? Who can pay bills and things like that.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
I get staying in the same house for a couple months to figure it out. But I don't know. You can't stay in that situation forever. No. You have to move on and move past it. And you're not going to do that by living with this man forever.
Well, she didn't even confront him yet.
But she's planning to.
She is. And I'm nervous for this woman. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Did you say there was edits or something?
There's one edit.
What is it?
For the comments, I think, first comment says, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I wouldn't do anything yet. I'd play it cool and I start getting my ducks in a row. You're financially dependent on him right now. I would start consulting some lawyers and start building a start over fund. Where is your family? Can you get a job? Can they help you? Can you get any evidence of the cheating? I'm sorry, you are right. It is very sick and he has known her since she was 15. Furthermore, she is your family. Be honest with yourself and ask, if he did it with your own family, do you really think he didn't do it with strangers too? My would be a detective searching everything. I like that comment because
it's good advice for sure.
Very true. I mean, if he's doing it with her, he's probably doing it with other people.
How old was he? Because something we're not addressing is the fact that he knew her since he was 50 or since she was 15.
He's 39.
Yeah, it's weird. He's a creep. That's why there's no let's go to therapy, let's try to fix this, let's move past this like that. No, he's a creep. He's weird. I can't show up to my family with you anymore. It's disgusting. Goodbye.
Well, that's why I'm worried about this woman because, like, if he is that, like, effed up where he could do something like that, whether she was 22 or not, he is messed up in the head and he needs to get the cops called on him, but there's nothing you can do.
Not doing anything illegal. He's just
That's the annoying part.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah, because it says at the time she was a young adult, at the time almost 22. So she was about
she was-
to turn
that's
22.
disgusting.
21. It's just weird.
It is weird.
Honestly, and the thing is, like, obviously the husband needs to take the most accountability for the situation, but she was 21 years old. We all make dumb decisions when we're, 20, but like she was, able to make a choice at the moment, and she did it twice, and she still didn't tell. Again, the whole thing was just like you said, you're honest with your family. The honesty starts with your husband is hitting on me. It does not start with 4 years ago, I gave him 2 times.
It's just weird.
It is weird.
It's
It's
just weird
weird.
because we've known
Like,
her
you can
for
for
so
sure
long.
say
Right.
that it's
Like
weird.
it's just kind of like
I mean, it's
just
not
weird.
like I guess he's known her since she was a little kid, but it's still weird. She was still
you're
a kid.
still a kid.
She was still
when
a
you're
kid.
that age. Like you're a kid.
Yeah, we can for sure say that it's weird, and she needs to run really far away from him, which is why, from my perspective, I think she should sit down with him and they should figure out the financial part together. But I think also, like, from your perspective and what you were thinking of, Karley, I think the commenter, that's kind of the situation there. If you can sit on it for 6 months, you can, get a couple $1,000s saved up, get your family, support system intact. That's another way to deal with it. If you don't think that your husband's going to be quite like amiable about sitting down and maybe being,
It really
an
just
adult
depends.
about it.
You're right. It really just
Mhm.
depends on this man's temperament, how you think he's really going to handle
Yeah,
it.
more than likely psycho. Sorry.
That's
That's
fair.
all I
I
really
think
have to say. It's like I'm nervous for her to even confront him, and I want to know what's going on so bad. If there's an update, count me in because I'm like nervous for her. What if she never does an update?
Well, I wouldn't worry. I'm not telling you you're wrong, Karley, but I wouldn't worry too much. Just
Right.
because people cheat doesn't mean that they're violent. And even just because they're weird doesn't mean that they're going to hurt you when they're confronted with it.
I know.
Honestly, this guy is probably going to be super embarrassed. That's going to be probably the first thing. And
Yeah.
the only way that it'd be like really bad is if he's a real narcissist that can't deal with being confronted.
And
But
you
there's
know what?
not a lot of those out there, despite what everyone says.
Right. I just know people like, and I was around it, like people getting right, like when their husbands or their significant others were upset or mad, they would get to the point where they would hurt their significant other. And I know people like that, and so that makes it really hard to see a situation like this happen because I grew up knowing these situations happening. And knowing this happens and seeing it firsthand, it's like those kind of people who constantly cheat are likely to be a and that's really scary because I had one of my best friends went through it for 10 years. 10 years. We are finally getting our relationship. I think 14 years actually. I think I'm off on my time. But we finally are getting our relationship back, and it's still a little bit funky because I'm busy and I have 2 kids of my own. Knowing that he is like that, more than likely he's going to handle it very, very negatively. Out of all of the things that I'm looking at and thinking about, he's going to handle it negatively. And that's where I'm upset.
I'm saying you can't be upset. I'm
Right.
just saying, like, don't worry too much about this
Right.
girl. It doesn't mean she's your
I
friend.
know.
You're
She's
just-
my friend. Women stand for women.
Karley's
I'm standing for women too. I'm just
I
trying to
know.
help you not be so worried.
getting her
I
Why
know. You're
Trying to
calm
lighten you up a
down.
little bit. It's okay. Just because
I
he's a
know.
cheater doesn't mean he's a beater.
Hopefully she'll be okay.
She's
She
gonna be all
will
right.
figure it out. That's what's cool about Reddit is that people can kind of give advice and band together. So it says, edit again. I spoke to her again. She says, or happened once and he put his hands down her pants a different time when he tried to have SEX, but she turned him down. She also said that he told her that he used to take work trips about twice a year back when my other girls, 7 and 9, were an infant-toddlers. He would bring women to the hotel. Also, assuming it's true, that's great to find out, I guess.
Other women, not the.
They're women.
So the commenter was right.
I mean, it's not that far of a stretch. Like, if he's doing it with people you know, he's probably doing it with people you don't.
Well, that's what that commenter was totally 100% right.
They're spot on.
Yeah, he's a serial cheater. Get the F away from him. as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And collect.
But no, I think Karley, you're also turning like the more and more. This wasn't just a weird thing. I think he's a serial cheater, and it might be hard to confront him about this.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think she's gonna have to probably create a little pile of money, at least a small enough one to get a small apartment. Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to some lawyers. Like, go back to work and
Do
figure
you know
it out.
how much apartments are nowadays?
I do. I live in Detroit, Michigan. I know exactly how much apartments are. Do you think I'm a Martian?
Well, sometimes there's help for people that are going through this stuff too. Like
Absolutely. That's what I mean. She needs to talk to some lawyers, connect herself to resources.
Mhm.
It's not impossible when you're a single mom to figure it out if you need to get out. You have to
How
talk.
does he pay for the lawyers?
Husband will pay for that. He's the cheater. He's the reason they're getting a divorce.
The longer it takes for her to decide to get out, the harder it's going to be for her to get out.
Exactly.
At this point, because
she needs to just save enough to get out of first month's rent, deposit, get a 2-bedroom apartment. You got 2 or 3 kids. You sleep with one of them. You do the other. I did that when I was a kid. My mom had to get out quick, fast, in a hurry. We slept in the same room. That's just what you do when life throws you things you don't plan for. It doesn't look pretty for a while. It's okay.
But it's not safe. You know, it's just.
I hate it.
I hate it for her. I hate it for her family.
Nobody asked for this. And this stupid, weird guy just wants to cheat on his whole family, not just his wife, his family.
This is his kids, his relative, his wife's relative. You know, he knows this family. He's been around this family, been to family events. He's been around for 12 years.
This little cousin was probably like at their wedding and stuff. Like, it's just strange. It gives me the ick completely.
Yeah.
So, like, there's just no question. Like, just get a divorce. I'm sorry that, you know, if the finances are hard, but like Karley said, the finances are hard for everybody. That should not change the fact that you should not stay in this relationship.
It's just not worth it. And find a family member even that might help you out. Like, maybe somebody is willing to help you if they know what's going on. Maybe somebody else has the space.
Yeah, move in with the damn cousin. She's part of the problem.
Maybe not that cousin. Maybe find a different cousin that doesn't trigger you, or a auntie, or a grandparent, or somebody that could help you, or a parent, or whatever. I'm sure somebody can open their house.
Or a friend.
To you. Yeah, even just for while you're figuring this out, so you don't have to live under the same roof as this guy. Like, collect whatever you need to collect at the moment. Take a couple days and talk to a lawyer, and then go stay with somebody, you know, get out of there. If it's been happening, it's probably been happening for a long time, even longer than you even know.
Right.
Also, you should go to a doctor and unfortunately get checked for.
That's definitely something you should be doing. That's definitely a good consideration, because you don't know how reckless this person is being. It's sad. It's sad when people resort to this. A lot of people
cheat too.
He could be addicted to.
Happens all the time.
Well, in my mind, I feel like this guy is probably addicted to X and that kind of content. So it's very likely that he has a problem that he's not taking care of or trying to seek help for. And this is how he's dealing with it, is he's just doing it and trying to do it on the side and act like it's a totally different. Yeah, it seems like people do that and dissociate from it. Like, they're like, yeah, that's something I do on the side, and I'm not that person, because when I'm with you, I'm this person. So it's a very toxic cycle that people get in, and they don't even think it is them doing it. I don't know.
Like, oh, that's drunk me, or that's, you know, like a lot of people blame substance abuse, and it's like,
what I do when I'm blackout drunk is none of my business. Not if you're doing things like that, harming people and stuff. Geez, I'm just talking about, like, acting like a crazy lady.
It is. You picked a really, like, deep, because you can hit so many different things,
y'all
right?
Picked it. I gave y'all
that's true. But it was a mystery. It didn't go into too much detail.
It sounded a little funnier, maybe.
I mean, it's a divorce story.
I thought it was going to be like, my husband was at the same party that I ended up, well, I don't know why they wouldn't be at the same party, but I thought something was going to happen at the party.
So someone said this at a Halloween party. Like, what kind of party favor is that?
Yeah, we were tricked by the Halloween party chick chatters, but this one was a doozy.
Why say this at a Halloween party? Why not just sit your cousin down or whatever any other time and talk about it? Why at this a Halloween event? Like, I don't know. It's just all strange to me. Yeah, they're both at fault, but obviously he's at a lot
They're
more.
both at fault.
They're both at fault.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, he's a lot more at fault.
90% at 85% at fault. She's like 15% at fault, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I say 90-10, but I still
I
think
say 90-10.
I still think that even that 10% is too many wrong to be wrong.
Right. It's a huge 10%.
You don't want to be even 1% wrong in the situation.
Not in that setting of wrong.
Yeah.
That's a bad wrong.
You don't want to be wrong at all in this situation.
No,
that's the real.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be wrong at all.
You
so like this 90-10, it's like he's way more wrong, but she's still wrong.
If we haven't learned anything from that last cousin's husband episode, it's that it's just not a good idea to mess with your cousin's husband if it gets.
I can't believe I didn't think about that.
The thing about that one is that the person confessed to the wife that they were in love with the husband, didn't tell the husband yet.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Okay, the cousin is in love with the wife.
No, the cousin is in love with the wife's husband, which the wife is her cousin.
Oh, Jesus.
Except for the cousin didn't do anything yet, apparently. Didn't do anything yet. She was just testing the waters with the wife. But this cousin didn't even care about that. I mean,
thing is too, yes, with the cousin, like the cousin is also aware of the family and the situation and like all of that. Like, how could you? It's just so multiple levels of betrayal. Yeah. The lady needs to go. She needs to get herself a job. She's a hard working. She's gonna be an independent woman. And that's.
Does they have kids?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can get a 2-bedroom apartment. They can be expensive, but you can make it happen if this is your life, because you do not want this to be your life.
Honestly, yeah. And it's just way less damaging for your kids in the long run, because it's going to be damaging for them regardless. They're going to learn about this regardless. This is going to be talked about. I mean, your whole family knows about this, I'm sure.
Everybody going to know.
If you're finding out about this at a Halloween party, other people heard. You know? That's
also true. Like, she could have just been drunk that night. She's like, I'm telling everybody.
It was probably a family Halloween party. Like, why would a 39-year-old and a 22-year-old be at the same Halloween party if it weren't a family party?
I think at this point she must have been 26, because it said it happened 4 years ago.
So 26 and 39.
Yeah.
Well, was he 39?
I think he's 39 now.
Okay.
And she's 38 or something.
The wife is. Yeah. Okay.
But still, it's icky. Like, I don't care how old she is.
But they still were probably at the family gathering. Like, I can't see even that age gap being at the same party for no reason. How did the family not know?
Or if they didn't know, they found out at that party because she said it at the party.
Well, everyone's that's the thing. Like, you can't just go back now. This is not just, like Karley said, like the original post, like, this is not just, oh, I accidentally cheated on you one time, which is bad enough. But people can bounce back from that, sometimes. Like, this is not that. You can't be taking your husband to family events now.
And he was bringing more girls to that hotel.
And that's just, you're a serial cheater now. That's what that is. So
you had to throw the whole thing away.
Sorry, like, it's sad.
But low key, I'd flee the state.
Right.
And I would
move to a tropical island.
This is by no means legal advice or real advice, but hypothetically, if this were me, I really would consider leaving in the middle of the night in a canoe and maybe ending up somewhere else, whether it was a different state or a whole different language country.
That's what we all wish we could do.
Yeah, I think we should land there for her. That makes me feel better that she just ended up in Mexico with a glass of wine.
Yeah, she's on the beach with her kids.
And maybe she met her future husband there, and he's like some kind of millionaire.
Yeah, you can meet a whole different man.
Life can change for people like that. Like, you have no idea how quickly life can change.
I know.
But
And
if
it
you
can change for the better, not
Right.
just
No.
for the worst.
But if you stay
Mhm.
stuck in that house just because of finances and stuff,
It
you're
ain't
always going to stay stuck in
Yeah.
that nonsense, and he's always
Right.
going to keep doing it. But
Mm-hmm.
if you even attempt to get out within maybe a year, you're probably
Yeah.
going to be just living life.
Bounced right
And I
back,
just hope-
happier than ever.
And I just hope he doesn't do anything mean.
If you feel the need in the middle of the night to go, then do it that way. Like, do it whatever way is the safest for you. This was 5 days ago, so we should. I mean, I'll keep my eye out for an update. So we will see.
We'll have to have Karley back if we have an update.
Thanks for having me. Bye, Brooke. Love you. All
Thank you. Love you. I'm so happy you came.
right. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, ChickChatters.
Don't forget to subscribe and comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what level of crazy you think this man is. Okay, goodbye.